What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Joseph and Munch Show. I'm Joseph, this is Munch.
That's right, as simple as that. So today we're back with another topic. It's about cyberbullying.
That's right. What is cyberbullying? Have you ever been cyberbullied?
Yeah, I think I would consider myself having that sort of experience, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Like when?
Like when people put nasty comments about you on Facebook, does that constitute cyberbullying?
Yes, it does. When did people put nasty comments about you on Facebook? You're barely on Facebook.
Yeah, ages ago when I, just started out on TV. Yeah, people putting nasty comments.
Okay.
So yeah, it made me sad for a while.
Alright.
So does that constitute cyberbullying?
It does. But here's the caveat to that. He was not on Facebook back then. They just mentioned his name, but they couldn't tag anybody because he didn't have a Facebook account.
But still, we could see it.
Yeah, so someone actually brought it to your attention, and then you felt like, oh crap, someone's talking crap about me.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, it might not be crap. It might be true, but
nothing to do with the fact that he's no longer on air. Nothing to do. He wasn't cyberbullied off the air.
Yeah, right. So I guess the point to note here is if it could make a fully grown adult sad, can you imagine the impact it would have on a young boy or young girl?
Yes.
So what would that lead them to do to themselves? That's going to be sad.
And also there's a whole other aspect to it. I mean, we are hosts on national TV, so there's a certain level of fame, certain level of notoriety right there. But on a whole other level, there are Kpop superstars, there are pro wrestlers who get cyberbullied into committing suicide. So there's a whole other side of this that we probably don't know because we're maybe from a different generation, so we can't really feel the pressure of cyberbullying. I mean, to give you some context, we started out with IRC and then ICQ. We progressed to Friendster and then we ended up Facebook. He ended up cyberbullied on Facebook. So yes, I engage on Twitter and stuff, but I think we need a whole different generation of guests to help unravel the mystery of cyberbullying and how we can solve it.
That's right. So is that why we're bringing in younger guests?
Yeah, we're bringing in younger guests
to give us a different perspective, right?
Better looking than us.
Better looking.
And
hosts themselves.
And they host themselves. So yes, we don't have to worry about them talking. They can talk for ages. They'll be with us shortly. Don't go anywhere. Joseph and Munch returns as we speak to you about cyberbullying.
And we're back. As promised, we have a fresh new guest right here with us. All right, please help me welcome TV host for Selamat Pagi Malaysia, Syuhaida. She has a very own YouTube channel as well, right? YouTube video.
Yeah, I know. But not really active lah.
Not really active, but we'll talk about that. We'll get there. And of course, another TV host, Freshbrew, right here today, Zooey in the house.
What's up? Let me just say, it's always so awkward when you're a host and you become a guest. You're just like, what do I do with myself? That's how I've done this now and I had to do this.
She is the one that introduced me to this thing.
The finger heart?
Yeah, the finger hearts. I didn't know what they were until she said, hey, do this. I don't know, what?
So, founded in Korea?
It was founded. I think it was founded. I don't know. I just saw my friends doing it, so I thought I've always wanted to try this as well. So here we go for you guys.
And they always do. You have to be super cute.
Yeah, the egg yolk thingy they call it.
So you see why I don't do it? But, okay, so the reason I brought them on the show is because they are the two biggest K-pop fans I know. And this whole cyberbullying thing is kind of big in the K-pop world. To a certain extent, it has actually caused the death of a K-pop superstar, which then led to another K-pop superstar writing a song about it, which is now a big hit. Right? So let's talk a bit about that.
I think if you want to talk about cyberbullying when it comes to K-pop thingy, it kind of leads to depression, which is this problem goes to another level because if you want to touch at the surface, cyberbully, it should not go until that extent.
Okay.
It's because the people are so stressful with their work and then they are bullied at the same time. And I had some of my friends who were saying that the K-pop fans base, I mean the original Korean, they are very aggressive. When it comes to, it's much more aggressive than how we are here. That's what I heard.
Yeah, they have in the K-pop industry. So there are the fans and the anti-fans.
Yeah.
And the anti-fans, you have a super. If they really hate their artist, they really hate to a point where it goes beyond cyberbullying. It really goes to like they would threaten the artist. They would stalk. They would email the management and tell them, for example, oh, I don't like this K-pop artist, and they would get like all of this whole nation, this whole band of people, and tell them, look, we want this guy's fired, and if the management, does not protect the artist, they will get fired. There was several instances and several cases.
Oh gosh, that's kind of like what happened to you.
No, that's cyberbullying level 3, man.
Level 3, that's like, you experienced it a little bit.
Haters didn't threaten me or anything like that, but that's a whole new level.
They
man.
didn't threaten you because they couldn't even mention you. They can't tag you.
Thank God for that.
So, when we distill down why people do that, has there been any reason for why they hate someone so much that they want to threaten their livelihood?
It's just because of simple things, like, when talking about celebrities, you have to be beautiful or perfect. They expect you to look perfect from top to bottom. Every single angle, like, be it from your profile side, your back side, your front side, what more.
Really?
So if there's thing that they feel like you're not perfect, they will keep on commenting on it. For example, I can give you one of the Korean actress. I can't remember her name. I think it was Kim Go-eun. She deactivated her account because she uploaded this one photo of her without makeup. So she had anti-fans talking about that because of her eyes. It was too sepet, I think I must say that is what they're commenting. So she deleted the whole account.
Just because of that?
Just because of the eyes. It's just a small casual photo of her, going on vacation, makeupless, just being her basically. You want to have your own me time, right?
Of course.
Something personal that you want to share with your fans.
And she's probably just being real.
One thing about the K-pop industry is that K-pop artists are products. They're not human beings. They're not considered to be human beings, right? Because they are a product. So when you, for example, if you go to a grocery store and you see a can of tuna and it's dented, you wouldn't want that can of dented tuna, right? You would probably either tell the management or you just put it aside at the back. So same concept to K-pop artists. They are a product, and when they're not perfect or when they stray from this because not generally, like Koreans itself, they are very traditional in a way. If you see like their culture and everything, it's very Asian, right? Where you have to be a certain way, you have to be polite, you have to be pretty, you have to, I had a Korean classmate in uni, and she said that it's very normal for them to get plastic surgery because they need to be beautiful. They need to be a part of this Korean standard. So whenever they're not, the fans feel like, oh, why are you not this? Like so and so.
Wow.
So
If you're Korean and you're watching this, don't take this the wrong way, but thank God I'm not Korean.
For the first time ever.
Or in Korea, right?
No
Or
amount
a
of
TV
plastic-
host in Korea.
No amount of plastic surgery would make me look like a Korean.
You know what's worse? I even heard that for children there, if they excel in their study, if they got A in any exams, they wish to have plastic surgeries. They ask for plastic surgery from their parents as a present, as a gift for their
graduation
excellence.
present.
To that
Graduation,
extent.
it is a graduation present.
Right. So
More
this
for the
is-
women.
I mean, we're commenting on other cultures, so maybe we should be a little bit sensitive here. Maybe lah, I'm not sure. It's not really a very good thing to be recommending plastic surgery for your kids. I mean, you might think it's part of Korean culture, but let's hope that does not come and translate to Malaysian circumstances. When we look at the K-pop industry per se, right, this demand for perfection, does it also translate to the fans? Like you guys as fans, you look at them and go, okay, I should look like that, and put the same kind of pressures on yourselves.
It really depends, I think. So it really depends on who you idolize. Do we want to stop and wait? Oh, cantik, you stopped. Perfect. But it really depends on, like, I guess, who you idolize. I think my favorite group is this group called Mamamoo. And they are not typical. Okay, so like y'all can Google this.
Question mark there.
Yeah, it's like who they? So for them, they're not very. How they look is not very traditional K-pop idols, and how they look. They don't have like squinty small eyes. They're not skinny. They're tall, but they're not skinny. But they sing. They can sing really
The
well.
girl group, guy
So a girl group.
Girl group.
But
They've
they
got
look
essence.
like they look like how I would look like in the morning. They don't wear makeup that often. They empower women. So I guess it really depends on who you idolize, and because I think we're more Malaysian, we're not from Korea or anything.
Yeah.
So we have a different perspective on how we see the person, right?
Okay.
We can be like, she has flaws, but I love that she has flaws. But maybe for other fans, they're like, no, cannot.
Must be
this person
perfect.
cannot have a flaw. Yeah.
What about you? I mean, who do you idolize or look up to?
I think back in 2009 or 2010, I idolized this girl generation.
The OG.
G.
That you've heard before.
Yes, I've heard. I heard that one song about a genie.
Genie. Yes.
Yeah.
Those are one of the songs, but now the recent one is Blackpink, and I think they're quite
Blackpink.
up to the latest up to date. Blackpink.
But they all look the same. I mean, to me.
I know. That's
Yeah.
how I found the first place as well. But then once you get to know them, then you'll be able to differentiate them.
Okay. So I want to take you guys back to one of the OG K-pop groups, the Super Junior.
Yeah.
Okay, they had this one guy in Super Junior that was kind of chubby.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he didn't fit the mold. How did he get in there?
And based on an interview, he actually got there because of his dance skills. So he is a powerful dancer. He can learn a dance in one go.
Okay.
Most of the time in one go. So they'll show one time and he'll copy immediately. So that's why they got him in the band, but also because he was slightly different. So I think in K-pop there's like first gen, second gen, third gen, right? So they are I think second gen. First second gen. Super Junior to me was different because suddenly got one big guy in the group.
Yeah.
Then it made me like, actually, I like this big guy, because he was different. He was not just the same K-pop.
Correct.
face,
Yeah. But
So-
then again, I don't know any songs.
No, if your question actually came in the form of a comment in that Super Junior's Facebook page,
Yeah.
you would be cyberbullied.
I would be bullying him.
You would be bullying that
Right.
chubby dude.
And
Well,
you might be bullied again by
Fat
the
shaming.
fan.
Yeah.
You'll be fat shaming that chubby dude.
Well, chubby, cute, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I brought him up because he doesn't fit the normal stereotype thing that you would have when you think of a K-pop superstar, and they're no longer active. Are they still active?
They are.
I'm not sure.
They are. So they came up with comeback.
A comeback. Okay.
They came with a comeback last year. Not too bad. Super clap if you know.
I was too busy checking out the Pussycat Dolls. And that.
Hey.
Not anymore, right?
Come back.
Yeah, they come.
Come back.
That's
check it
something
out.
I would like.
Yes, it's already here, so you don't have to anticipate it. It's already here. All right, let's distill this down to the you and me conversation, the everyday person, right?
Yeah. Bring it back to Malaysian context.
So
is
you
it?
you were cyberbullied.
Yeah, I mean,
so to speak,
just
lah.
for one time.
So sit down and talk about it. How did you feel?
So
You're gonna
don't
pass
I
it back
have
to
a
me,
sofa where I can lie down on?
I'm not gonna take notes. How did it affect you psychologically?
Nah, it was a few days of feeling down and bad about yourself. That's about it.
That's about it. Have you guys ever experienced something similar? Because all you have more than one social media account. This guy has only one social media account, which is Facebook, and it's just recent. But you have more than one social media account. So you have opened yourself up to these wide avenues of possibilities where you will be cyberbullied. So have you ever received something disparaging?
I compared to my friends. I would say I've never been bullied, like
Never been
cyberbullied,
bullied,
actually,
okay.
like what I would consider being bullied. It's very common on the internet right now for people to comment on your appearance. I get it a lot because my weight fluctuates here and there. Sometimes I lose weight, sometimes I gain weight, and I'm one of those people like if I gain weight, like
It
a balloon.
We're
So
the
you
same
can
age.
tell, yes, you can tell.
I see.
And it doesn't help the fact that like for both of us, I mean like for all of us, we were on TV, so you're subjected to your appearance matters so much. It doesn't really matter. You can talk, you can be the most smartest person, but if you don't fit that certain TV mold, if like you don't, your face tak makan camera, right?
That's what people say.
Yeah.
Tak makan
Tak makan camera, like there's a possibility you might not get a job. But and now added on the whole social media thing, your followers matters. But like for me, most comments I get is like appearances, but I'm very like, if you're gonna bully me, I'm gonna say something back. Like I'm not gonna sit down here and just accept it, bro. Like
Right.
I go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week, so like so what? Okay, I get that. Okay, so what? But I would just,
Fighter.
I'm like, because I'm like, it's not right for you to like comment on somebody's appearance. You
Right.
don't know what's going
Right.
on and everything like that. So usually, if that happens, I'll just like, just say something on IG story or like Twitter or something. The person will, has apologized. Then we just let it go. So that's my experience.
I think by and large we're kind of lucky because we don't have like a horde of anti-fans coming after you. What about you, Shu? Have you experienced this?
If you want to talk about cyberbullied, you kind of get there's a lot of segments, right? So I'm not sure if you consider sexual harassment as one of those cyberbullying.
Absolutely, but that is like another level.
Virtual sexual
I don't
harassment.
get that a lot, but I do have that experience when people commenting about inappropriate thing on a video that when there's me. This thing kind of affects me mentally. It kind of made you feel like, am I not wearing something appropriate? I mean, let's put aside the religion at first. Now we're talking about how the human should behave. So, and then when you're hearing people talking about your body, which you're not showing or revealing to the public, so what tells about the people who's commenting on that, right?
Exactly.
And also, it kind of makes me feel insecure about the world. Like when you want to upload anything, like if you want to express yourself, it kind of
makes you think
sekat you.
twice,
It makes you think that while it's actually good content that you want to share with people, but because of this thing, it made you feel insecure. It's it kind of block you in a way. This cyberbullying thing.
I totally understand. I mean, I have had many co-hosts across the 15 years who've experienced different levels of cyberbullying, and a lot has to do for the women with the appearance or what they wear on air. So does that speak to the viewers, the public, and what they look out for when someone crosses the screens? Because the other day, I won't mention this co-host, we were on air and she was wearing a skirt.
Of course.
And
You were there.
we have live on Facebook for this particular show that we do on RTM, and normally we get maybe 1,000. But for this particular episode, where everyone was being disparaging and everyone was commenting negatively, it blew up to about 20,000-30,000.
So,
To give you perspective.
so they were enjoying the view,
They
But,
were becoming the horde of anti-fans,
commenting on the taste.
commenting on what she was wearing. On what she
Hey,
was
should
wearing.
I worn a skirt today, guys?
No, I mean-
y'all should have worn me.
Yours is a long skirt. I mean, it wasn't really a short skirt, but it was
see the
revealing
legs lah.
just the legs. So, does that speak to the viewers, the people watching the show? Why do you look at someone and then you judge straight away based on what they are wearing? And how can we change that?
How can we change that?
How can we change
have
that?
to educate people, especially parents and the new generation. I mean, it's the cliche answer.
It is the
What
cliche
else I
answer.
can say? You have to educate the new, the one the young, the old one. They already passed on. We can't change them. When they have a perspective, it's very hard for you to direct them again. So we have to teach the younger generation. This new one, we have to tell them that this is not right. You have to do the right thing. Don't comment sensitive things. Don't cyberbully people, especially parents, young parents especially.
Because I think it's hypocritical, right? Because you watch MTV, you watch all those videos, you watch all kinds of Hollywood superstars, Kpop, and you can see all these different
Legs.
dress codes. Dress codes.
Okay, dress code.
And you don't make any noise, you don't make any mention. In fact, you give them all the adulation and adoration in the world.
Yeah.
When a Malaysian personality wears
Does
a skirt slightly lower than or slightly higher than it should be, then you start disparaging the comments. So don't you think
It comes to like a cultural. It's a cultural thing, right? So. Let's just put down Beyonce, for example. Beyonce came to Malaysia a few years back, 10 years back, I think.
Okay.
And she wasn't allowed. She was told by the government, look, if you want to come and perform, girl, no Beyonce outfit. And she's known to show her legs. She got them legs, she got them butt. But when she had to come down here, she had to change the way she dressed because that is the Malaysian culture where we're not allowed to, even in TV, the first thing that the producers or whoever would tell us is, you cannot wear anything that's sleeveless, you cannot wear anything that's short, here, because that is the standard that we have given, that is the standard that we have set for, it's a general standard for most TV shows. But then maybe, for example, if you are hosting an Indian show, right? you can get away with it because the culture allows them to dress a certain kind. You know,
Right.
that
Sari.
saris, sari will show here and there. For example, Chinese as well. Probably during Chinese New Year, you can wear a bit of cheongsam because cheongsam has a
high
nice
slit.
slit, a
Okay.
high slit, because that's a culture. But when it comes to, for example, a Malay culture, it's not because this Malay culture you are advised or you are required to dress modestly. So whenever you go beyond that, it's like, oh no, she cannot, and then suddenly get 20K. But from a production's perspective, good, we're getting views.
Yeah,
And an
on
online
Facebook
world,
Live, so, you know.
Online world, they don't care about this. So that's the dangerous thing about being online, is that there is no set rules to do something. If you want to show off your body, you can, but you have to know that if you do that, you are gonna get an onset of people who does not think like you. So I think for me, if you want to avoid being in an environment that you will get bullied, then you need to find your people. So that's why I say I feel like, for me, as compared to like my other counterparts or my other friends, you know, my followers are my kind of people. My kind of people who are a little bit artistic, who are a little bit kooky, you know, like sometimes I wear shorts, sometimes I don't, and they're okay with me because they know who I am, right? But if Nilofa, for example, did that, pakai ketat, or like, you know, she opened her tudung again, that's gonna like uproar, man. The whole internet's gonna blow up.
With that level of people, I think it's all about attention. Like, you know, they might just do anything for
Yeah.
attention, so it's a different ball game altogether.
So this kind of thing happens. It's still happening, like
Yeah.
you mentioned, right? So maybe you can share some tips on how to address this if it really happens to one of our viewers, right? We know that you will give it back to them.
Yeah, man. Like, look, if you're gonna come at me, I'm gonna come at you.
Just
okay?
bring it!
Fair game. You come at me, I come at you.
Fair.
Right.
I like that. I like that. So what about Shu? What's your advice? How would you address that kind of situation?
Okay, this question is a bit hard for me to answer it because I recently just opened up another public account for people to see my
Right,
daily
right.
routine. So
Okay.
I don't exactly have the real experience of being cyberbullied to that extent where I want to feel bunuh diri and all, right? But I've seen my friends, because they are public figures, they are celebrities, they are influencers, they are being bullied without doing anything. Someone commenting on their post.
Sad.
It's very annoying and irritating when people are saying bad things about your work, you know. So based on my observations, how I see they're catering this problem, it's either they're just gonna let it go, let it be, let people talk, and then at some point they're just gonna, you know, shut up and they're not going to speak about it anymore, or there's like another way, they're going to counter it, they're going to give another statement to, you know, like neutralize the situation, and then just let it pass. But I don't know how they feel like personally behind the scenes, like, you know.
I know
it
when she
hurts.
started her account, she posted the Spartan challenge thing. So it's like, don't mess with me. See, I can do all these things. I can whoop your ass.
A trick.
So that's like a good first page disclaimer,
I was
right?
like, whoa, Syuhaida.
Yeah, it's
It's like carrying logs. And,
just impression, you know. It's social media. It's all about impression because you're not able to talk with people live, and they won't know you based on photos. So you have to like translate your whole self into this one static thing. So how are people going to translate that? It's based on a photo.
Yeah.
There are other avenues of social media like Twitter, right, where I'm most engaged.
That's where the real Terrence is, guys.
That's where I put on my boxing gloves and, you know, kind of go punching 1-on-1, 2 rounds, 3 rounds with some people based on opinions. But it's all good. I think I do it respectfully. But I've noticed that some people just come out and go on the attack. They name and shame. And these are not celebrities. These are not personalities. These are just everyday people. It could be the person you're working with in the cubicle next to you, and you decide to shame that person for some reason, and you tag him up, put on a post, and there you go. So it is not just celebrities that are limited to being cyberbullied now, but it's just like everybody. How can people protect themselves? Because for celebrities, we have this sort of media training. We're in the public eye, so we know how to kind of distance ourselves and disconnect. But for just an everyday person, how do they get ready to be cyberbullied? Because it could happen to anyone.
The thing about being bullied is that you can never get ready for it, right? It doesn't really matter. Like you said, with the internet, everyone can be a victim. Everyone can be a bully, and everyone can be bullied.
Right.
It's just knowing that when you, especially on Twitter, Twitter Jaya is a place to get some tea. It is a place for you to argue. It is a place for you to get your news, to comment about politicians, to comment about your workmates. I just recently found out a friend of mine was commenting on how the way this particular committee that I'm in, how the way they work.
Okay.
So things like that, you need to understand that places like Twitter are just places of opinion. And in real life, if you, for example, I'm giving my opinion, if we're arguing, we're just arguing. It needs to end there. You need to learn to agree to disagree.
Right.
So coming onto it, to know that whenever you're giving an opinion that is slightly controversial, you're gonna get feedback. So if you're gonna put out something so controversial, you need to be ready to take in whatever comments and be able to smartly prove your point. If not, you're just gonna think kosong lah. You're just gonna ping pong it. It's just gonna be, oh, you're right, no, I'm right. Oh no, you're wrong. Oh no, you're wrong. So it's never gonna be an end. Just know that, look, if you don't like it, you can block it. I don't know why I've been getting some random, those like, this is a free show, I can say anything, right?
Yeah.
So I've been getting
no rules.
yeah, like so in my circle of friends, I always joke around that we have made it if you get a dick pic. Yeah, if you're a girl on the internet, you want to get famous, you made it when you get a dick pic. Let me just say that, okay, boys?
Oh my
That's
God.
a fresh point of view.
It's a joke because most of my friends have gotten it. So I was like, am I too halal not to get dick pic? So finally I got one. I was like, woohoo! Kecil lah. Let me tell you, if you're gonna send one, might as well, But anyway,
Know your place, boys. Know your place.
But anyways, at the end of the day, you can block those kind of stuff, right? For example, Instagram allows you to block certain keywords, so you can never see it again. So there are plenty of things for you to get ready, for you to be prepped. But if your social media is taking over your life, just delete the app for 1 or 2 days, refresh, talk to your friends. If it really affects you, talk to a friend, talk to your family, your parents, talk to some random stranger, or however you wanna, don't keep it in, right? Don't keep
advice.
don't keep any of this like negative feeling. Oh yeah, the other day, Ali said something about me lah. Okay, tell that to another person, so that person can help you put your thoughts into maybe a different perspective, or like help you like, oh, maybe no lah, maybe he was just, maybe you are a bit harsh in the way you say things. So next time, that person can give advice. So everything's not internalized and you're like, oh my God, I'm the worst person alive. And then you start having all this depression, because I have anxiety, and that's how it started developing, when I kept everything to myself, thinking like, oh my God, I'm not so famous. Oh my God, I'm not gonna go anywhere.
I feel you.
Yeah, right?
You guys went there, like.
Yeah, to that extent.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
we are basically freelancing outside. So for us to get the job, I mean, let's just be honest. For us, TV host, or you're a TV host as well, but when you're doing an outside job, it's very hard for you to get it because you don't have these followers. You don't have a strong profile, no matter how good you are. I mean, this is like, I don't know, the culture in Malaysia, or I don't know what about other countries, but that's how we are. So I've been trying to avoid myself to go public, because I don't like my life, being known to everyone outside. It's unnecessary. It's gonna cause, you're like inviting this bully to bully you, on social media. So it's not good. I see more harm than good when you open your life to public. But on the other side is that you have to do this. You have to face this cyberbully for you to get your job, for you to get money. You have to do this. It's how the world works now.
TV producers, you better just up your salary because they deserve more.
A couple of companies, please pay me.
Bullies,
Yeah.
Real life.
I think, based on what they're saying, I feel very fortunate that we come from the different generation of TV hosts where the followers, the likes did not really matter that much. So we kind of got away with having no Facebook account, no Instagram.
Yeah.
You just started Instagram.
You're right. We can get away with that.
We did get away with that.
But not anymore these days.
Not anymore these days, perhaps.
It's easier for you guys because at this point you already built some connections.
Yeah.
It's different from
Yes.
us. We are
Yeah.
building connections through social media.
Correct,
So
correct.
inviting everything, like the
Yeah.
bullies, the people, the job.
I
The
actually,
peaks.
I actually got my first ever TV audition because one of the admin or one of the assistant producers followed me on Instagram. So back then, you didn't have a lot of people who had colored hair on TV. Thank you, Let me just tell all you TV, like, yeah, thanks, you're welcome. But that time nobody had colored hair on TV, so. She followed me because she thought I was like a bit different, a bit interesting. So I auditioned. I got the job. I auditioned for it. My first question was, do I need to dye back my hair? And then they were like, no, we're cool with it. We like that you are different. So sometimes social media can be a good thing. You can get jobs. I'm pretty sure you've gotten jobs through social media as well. With the bad, with the good, there always comes the bad lah. So you just have to be able to kind of remember that your public personality is not your private personality. Who I am on my social media, I'm not that in real life. Yeah.
But also, for me, I don't post anything private on my social media feed. I mean, I don't think you could see anything private. This has been a very interesting period where I've experimented a little bit, and I've dragged this guy out of dinosaurdom into online fame. What do you call it? Fame.
He's like,
Dinosaurdom.
My Simba. So, when it comes to that private, public segregation, right? How do you decide what you post?
For me personally, I would try to divide which post that would draw a lot more attention and which is not.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And then I would just do like the public account. I only use for my professional account, not like for work. It's only for work. Like if I sometimes feel like posting something personal, I'd stop myself. That's how I do to avoid myself being cyberbullied.
Right.
Let's say if that's on Instagram. Let's say if it goes on Twitter. If I wanted to say something about certain issues or problems, that's
Which you never do.
yeah, but sometimes when you read something, it kind of
Triggers you.
Right? That feeling. So you feel like typing something and want to send something. What I usually do, I typed it a long thread, and then I'll just save it, and I didn't post it. That's how I try to avoid myself being cyberbullied. Because sometimes you're entitled for your opinion, right? But not everyone can understand what you're trying to say. Be it like there's only like few characters in just one tweet. How can you expect people to understand in just few 4 to 5 sentences?
Right.
It didn't reflect what you were thinking at that time. So it's dangerous, so you better not to. See, and then you speak that to your friends, like, hey, I want to talk to you about this topic, like how Zooey said. Like, let's talk about this topic, what do you think? And then it kind of releases everything like you want to say in the Twitter.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, I think Twitter now they have threads, so you can try to use that. But if you feel that you're going to get cyberbullied for this opinion, give the opinion to somebody with more thick skin like me, and then I'll post it for you.
Okay, noted.
It's gonna be hard, like for example, because like for you, you're a news presenter, and you host something that's so serious, right?
Correct.
So if you give your opinion that is a bit more, let's say biased, political, or like a bit, then people will be like, oh wait, is that what she's actually like? That's not what I saw on TV. Like it's gonna be conflicting, especially for your type of job. Yeah.
True.
Right.
Yeah, talking about politics, right? What about political comments?
Have you made any political comments? I don't see.
I have.
Isn't that bullying the minister?
No, I try to flirt with Syuhaida online.
That's not political.
I've been trying to tell him to call me out, man. Like, call me out. Like, no,
Still
but
now
no. Back when he was Menteri, now like just he's on TikTok, so he's very enjoyable on TikTok.
Okay.
But I think for the nature of our jobs, if I was not doing what I was currently doing, definitely I would blast my political opinions. 'Cause I also have. I read the news as well. So I also have my kind of opinion on how Malaysia should be run or what we should focus on, right? But because of the nature of our jobs, we're not allowed to because again, we are always reminded to be very neutral, right? Especially given the fact that who we work for right now. So I can't exactly say that, this minister is not doing it right or like this person's being disrespectful or I don't agree with your policy. you can comment on it, but you need to be smart on it. Don't say that, oh, that menteri ugly lah, you know, or oh, that person was so rude. If you want to give a political comment, give a legit political comment. Just be again smart about it. I think if you want to
be constructive.
Yeah, be
right?
constructive.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you don't agree with a certain policy, explain why, and then maybe give a little bit of proof so you don't sound so dumb, you know, when you say something. But that's for our job lah. For an average person, I think they don't care. They can just blast. Again, go on Twitter if you want the tea. Everyone will comment about somebody lah.
Yes, that happens on Twitter every day.
Just now, I just saw one political person commented something else, but let's not say that here.
Okay, wow, I can't wait to get back on Twitter. It's time to respond. But when it comes to the everyday person in the younger generation category, the ones who are just getting their phones or social media accounts for the very first time, well, they may be as young as 10. They may be as young as
some younger.
Have you heard of 5-year-olds with Facebook accounts?
Phones.
Moms and dads now make accounts for their babies.
Okay, that doesn't count because the owner is the mom and the dad, the one responding.
Eventually, I think the kid's gonna take over
obviously.
the account. Yeah.
Really? That's what it's all about?
Because right now, what the parents are usually doing is they want the handle, right? Because every single day there are more people being born, so more and more social media accounts are being created. So if you have a name that's super unique, like example, Cleo Putrisha, Batrisha, whatever, right?
So you want
example
you want to chope
yeah, you want to chope that name for your
I
kids.
see.
Yeah, that's what I think parents are doing
Good
nowadays.
point.
Yours, I
Something
think,
we
don't have.
did see.
You better go and get it now.
Or like a diary as well, because last time when we were growing up, there were photos. Parents rajin take picture and we'll print it out. Now it's everything's online.
Here's your life.
Yes.
Here's your
And
life.
I think another thing they wanted to give, you know, a profile for their kids because they know the struggle of, you know, growing up, getting connections, you know, building your own brands and everything. So they're doing that for their kids so that at some point, you know, it's gonna be easier for them when they grow up. And it's not gonna be like us.
Yeah.
How we have to struggle at this age.
So far we've talked about celebrities, we've talked about the everyday person, we've talked about not so famous celebrities like us, our time. But there's a new generation coming up and they are the ones getting their phones for the first time, their devices for the first time, their social media accounts for the very first time. What's your opinion of how young people should be when they open themselves up to social media?
I'm not a mom yet, but like, honey, my future kid ain't getting a phone until she's 18. Or
18?
Wow.
Yeah, okay, maybe logically. So
Because you're going to run a social media account for your kid until then.
Ooh, we're gonna make a mommy and me account. I already planned it. Like, my future kid's gonna be like
Joint
fashion
account.
Yeah, joint account. It's cute. I'm gonna do TikTok dances. Okay, but anyways, I do think in terms of having a limit because I got my first one when I was 12, right?
Wow.
I was 12.
12.
Yeah, but that was like tiny Panasonic phone. But anyways, when I was 12, so I would say we have lived in an era where technology and social media was growing.
Yeah.
So having been through that, I feel like I don't want my kids to grow up too fast with social media. Ideally, I think probably the same age, fair lah. I get my phone at 12, she should get it at 15. If your PMR is straight A, if not straight A, don't dream about it.
Okay, so future kid, if you're watching this, it's a promise from your mom.
Yeah.
If she don't deliver on the promise, you can hold it to her. You're not recorded already. Siap, siap.
Exactly. Got it. But I don't think kids, it's very difficult to monitor kids' social media because your phone is a private thing, right? But there are plenty of apps, there are plenty of tools on the phone itself to child lock, to have child monitor and stuff like that. So I think you want to give your kids phones in an early age. Unfortunately, with nowadays, you have to because our life has been so integrated with technology.
Right.
So probably about 12, I think is a good age, or like 13 is a good age because they're in high school, right? That's when they get the most trouble. So yeah, it'd be a good time to have a phone.
Let's dinosaur out for a bit. How young were you when you got your phone?
18.
See, he got his early. I got mine at 21.
Okay,
And
I feel
back
privileged.
at that time it was just phone. It wasn't smartphone.
It wasn't a very smart
You know,
phone.
that phone and this phone is different.
It's a different
and
phone.
the effect is different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had it cool lah. He would come to college and like put the phone down. Like put
Standing
the phone
up.
Oh, that big phone.
Not down, standing up.
Big giant phone.
Yes, the big giant phone.
No, the giant one wasn't my era.
No lah, that was like
Giant enough.
The what? The adult one.
The adult phone, the big one, boom. And then it gradually shrank lah. But yeah, he was the first in our group to
I
have a
think all
phone.
in all, it has to be check and balance lah. There's always a good thing as well when people or kids are exposed to social media. They're learning few things. You know, like I have like this one kid I've known who she was 5 years old, and she could speak English fluently as compared to her parents. I mean, her parents cannot speak English at all. Like very English.
Right.
English pun memang tak dengar bunyi.
Yeah,
tak tahu bunyi apa.
Tak dengar.
Tak tahu bunyi apa. Faham lah no. But her kid was like excellent English. I could say she was very fluent. She can speak everything from word to word. The pronunciation, the vocabulary, it's very good. I can normally talk to her in English. So that's the good thing that it brings from this technology. So it has to be check and balance. I mean,
Right.
you have to expose them, but guide them at the same time.
Do you have a
Parents,
promise to
right?
your future kid, like Zoe?
No, I don't. I don't have any plan yet.
I'm like the Asian mom.
Very Asian one.
Alright guys, it's been fun. We're going to bring this to a close. So any final takeaways for parents out there who are probably the most concerned about social media and cyberbullying as compared to any other group, right? Parents be the ones that want to really protect
parents,
the kids.
exactly.
So what should they do in today's day and age?
I think at the end of the day, that's a very good word, guide them, right? If you want to introduce them to social media, if you want to introduce them to technology and all that, you can. There's nothing wrong with it. More and more kids are now picking up more things, learning more things via YouTube videos and everything else. But again, you need to guide them and you need to set, for example, once a week to use the iPad or an hour a day. Like how parents would monitor us, you know, in watching TV when we were growing up. Same thing for you to do with your parents. It's just a different medium nowadays. So that's it. And then at the end of the day, if you want them to have fun with social media, you gotta have fun with them. Don't tell them. Naturally, as human beings, when you tell someone to not do something, you wanna do it. So just tell them, look, you wanna do it? Let's do it together. There are many TikTok stars. The Milio sisters are doing their TikTok stuff with their parents, and it's very encouraging. It makes it fun to watch as well. So
Right.
yeah,
You're
So
living the
really
healthy
scared
life.
lah.
you're living healthy
Living
life.
healthy life as well. Right? The bond between mom and daughter, mom and son. And then I would advise parents outside, like Zoe said, if you wanna, scold your daughter or son, don't do it. If you wanna avoid them from using excessive internet or tablet, iPad or so you call it, you can just, here's maybe it might be a tip because I read it somewhere. So you're telling them like, okay, you can play it for like another 5 minutes more and then give it to me. But just give the first warning, hey, don't play this anymore. But they will, berontak kind of say like, no, I still want to play. But then just tell them the second layer, okay, play for another 5 minutes and then I'll take it, okay? So they have the great time for the rest of 5 minutes and then they'll give it to you because I had my time. Okay, go play with your friends now. It's psychological. That's how you deal with the kids, right? So that's how you one of the tips that you can guide them.
Definitely both of them ready to be moms.
There you
We
go.
will.
New age moms. Right. Thank you very much, Shu.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Zoe.
Thank you for having us.
There
It's
you
very
go,
great.
right? Now, see, this is the slot where I think it's very useful because our two guests, they are in both sides of the spectrum.
Right.
They are user, they comment on other people, and also they are the content providers, they are the influencers, they are the TV hosts, right? They get their fair share of bullies and pictures.
Right.
So yeah, and we have their input right here today. So I think it's really cool.
That's right. I hope it helps you understand a little bit more about cyberbullying. So if you have any comments or questions about cyberbullying, just leave them down below. We'll also link in the description some help you might want to seek out from professionals in the various fields of psychiatry and psychology, so you can read up about that. Thank you very much for tuning in to this edition of Joseph and Munch. We'll see you guys again in 2 weeks.
Bye, guys.